Hello students, this is Arman Saudagar, faculty from Kotal Academy Indore. So as you all know, the classes are not going on as usual just because of corona epidemic. So we all need to be aware about this, that the corona is a widespread epidemic causing all around the world, and it is also very prevalent in India, especially in Indore. So the first duty of ours should be we should follow the rules laid down by the government to follow the lockdown. We should not unnecessarily go out, and we should try to remain inside our homes as much as possible to support the government to control the situation. So please don't go out anywhere. Just focus on your studies. So I am here to help you with the disaster management topic of GS paper 3 of UPSC. As you know, the exams are approaching near, so we will be preparing this topic through online video portal. So I will be guiding you all through that lectures, that how we can prepare for disaster management questions. So what we need to study, what we need not to study. So I will be uploading a lecture daily, and you need to pen down all the important topics, what you need to study or not, and just revise what we have read earlier on. So your focus should be on your studies. This time is very crucial for your studies, as the exams are just nearly 2 or 3 months. So just focus on your studies, and we will be reaching you out with online video lectures. You can also ask for any topic you need to revise also. So let's start with the adjustment topic. In this lecture, I will be talking about the past questions which are constantly asked by the UPSC. So we will be discussing about the topics which are continuously under the radar of UPSC, in which are posing different questions. So I will be discussing those questions today, and from tomorrow only I will be studying the syllabus, where we will be studying about the basics which are in the disaster management. So it will be a sweet long journey of online lectures, and just you need to cooperate with us. So just stay safe in your houses and study according to that. Okay, then let's start with our topic, disaster management. So here we will be completing it in few lectures, and let's start with the syllabus and the paper in which the disaster management topic is mentioned. So the disaster management topic is mentioned in paper 3, GS paper 3, and each year we have a trend analysis of some 1 to 2 questions every year that we get. And so we will be going through the questions that are asked in some 5 to 6 years, and what type of approach we should have by answering the questions. So dealing with the past questions, let's go to the 2011 question. The 2011 question talks about the composition and function of National Executive Committee. So the key word in this question is National Executive Committee of National Disaster Management Authority Act. So NDMA Act gives for National Disaster Management Authority. It is a body established by Government of India, which will overlooks the function of the working of the disaster management, how disaster is managed, and what type of preparedness is required. It also deals with the risk analysis of the different areas, mapping, energy, and everything. So its executive body, the National Executive Committee, which is mentioned in the National Disaster Management Act. So the question talks about this only. So this is mainly focused on the National Executive Committee. So it is basically the very simplest question that was asked. So the main thing is the syllabus was changed in 2013, where it was explicitly mentioned about the topic disaster management. So before 2013 there was no exclusive mention of the disaster management, but still the question was asked in 2011 about the National Executive Committee. So moving on to next question of 2013, there was no question in 2012. The topic changed in 2013, and the focus was on the definitions of some keywords. Like the keyword, one of the keyword is hazard. The other keyword is vulnerability. One keyword is risk, and one keyword also there. One keyword is preparedness. one keyword is preparedness. So these are four keywords. We will be dealing with these words in subsequent classes, what to write, what to not. So the question is as follows: कि how important are the vulnerability and risk assessment for pre-disaster management? So it is talking about pre-disaster mode, not of the post-disaster. Means the disaster is yet to happen. So how important means what's the vulnerability factor, how the people are vulnerable, what age group, what category of people are vulnerable, and the risk assessment means what will be the risk to the people living in that area. So how important are vulnerability and the risk assessment? This is mainly of related to definitions. And as an administrator, what are the key areas that you would focus in a disaster management? So here it is also acting as a case study where you are given a situation like an administrator and you have to tell about how you are going to manage these disasters. So how you can manage the manage about disaster management. So it is talking about this sense. So in this question you can write a lot of things, but the main thing is how you will manage to answer this in only 200 words. So the challenge is of 200 words, how you are going to write. So the question was on the four keywords. The next question is about drought. The drought, it is one of the disaster that India is prone to, and mainly those areas which falls in the rain shadow areas. So drought has been recognized as a disaster in view of its spatial expanse. Means it covers a lot of area. Temporal duration means it is not a short-term phenomenon of 1 or 2 days. It covers nearly around 1 to 2 months or even more. It depends on the intensity of the disaster. Slow onset, it takes time, and lasting effect on the vulnerable section. So again, the word vulnerability is in the form of vulnerable sections. So with a focus on 210 guidelines from the National Disaster Management Authority, discuss the mechanism for preparedness to deal with the likely El Nino La Nina fallouts. So the question is talking about a lot in only one. So the problem remains the same, is how to answer the question in 200 words. And along with that, it talks about disaster, and it is asking the guideline, 210 guidelines. So you do not need to mug up each and every guideline. So drought was in news at that point of time. So the guidelines are asked, so you have to mention the key points. So we will go through the guidelines of the National Disaster Management Authority, not every guideline, with the main guidelines only. So we will talk about them. And also it is linking the geographical part, means the El Nino and La Nina part, which we read in monsoon monsoon topic. So how El Nino and La Nina are associated with the disaster, and discuss the mechanism for preparedness. So also here the word preparedness is mentioned. So again we are asking about the preparedness factor here. So you have to understand that the UPSC is very specific in asking questions from these topics. Means it is not some random questions or so. It is just specific about some topics like those four keywords that we talked about. So you have to prepare according to that. So the next question is of 2015. It talks about the frequency of earthquake appears to have increased in Indian subcontinent. Yeah, in recent times, the earthquakes, there are more and more earthquakes, like the Kashmir earthquake, like the Nepal earthquake, which is in the adjoining area of India. So the frequency of earthquakes appears to have increased in the Indian subcontinent. Okay, how India's preparedness for mitigating their impact has significant gaps. Discuss various aspects. So it is also talking about preparedness. It is the pre-disaster preparedness, means how India is prepared to mitigate the impact of earthquake, and what are the major loopholes in the preparation, means mitigate the impact of significant gaps. So we have gaps in our preparation, and how we can deal with, means once we can say that in India we mainly we are ill prepared for every fallout or every disaster. So what are the significant gaps in that, and we have to answer about that. So we need to learn about the earthquake, what kind of earthquake are happening, when which places earthquake are happening, and how people are prepared in those areas. The most important question, which is continuously in news, the urban floods. So the urban floods, you might have read in news about the Chennai. the Mumbai. So these two cities were in news regarding the urban flood, the Chennai and the Mumbai. So the frequency of urban flood due to high intensity rainfall. It also given the reason. High intensity rainfall is increasing over there. Yes, increasing. Discuss the reason for urban floods. So it is talking about the reasons. Highlight the mechanism for preparedness to reduce the risk of such events. So this question is all talking about the urban flood, regions of the urban flood, and how to manage this. So we will be talking about these urban floods as well. The question was in 2016. And there was second question in 2016 with reference to National Disaster Management Authority guidelines. Discuss the measure adopted to mitigate the recent intensity of the incident of cloud burst in many places of Uttarakhand. So it was in 2016, and you might be remembering the cloud burst and the floods in Kerala. So we can also associate this with the Kerala floods, and we can expect one question from this area. So be prepared for Kerala, and this question is mainly talking about the cloud burst and the measures to mitigate. So we will be talking about that in. We will be also studying about the cloud bursts. Next question is of 2017, where it is talking about December 2004 tsunami. Tsunami have brought havoc on 14 countries. It is talking about the Indian Ocean tsunami of 2004, 25th of December 2004, where the earthquake took place near Sumatra Islands, and the impact was over more than 14 countries. Discuss the factors responsible for occurrence of tsunami and its effects on life and economy. So we have to tell about the factors responsible. So the factors can be earthquake, the factors can be sudden volcanic eruption, the factor can be landslide in the adjoining sea area. So these are the factors. So it is talking about the factor responsible for the occurrence of tsunami. So for December 2004 tsunami, the factor was earthquake. The high intensity earthquake was there, which happened near Sumatra Islands, Java and Sumatra Islands, and which transferred its energy to the water column above, and finally took the form of tsunami. So in the light of the guidelines of NDMA, describe the mechanism for preparedness to reduce the risk during such events. It is talking about the tsunami. The next question is about disaster. Discuss various measures taken in India for disaster risk reduction. So it is talking about the reduction of the risk before and signing Sendai framework for DRR. It is about the international frameworks which are being signed by different countries to deal with the impact of different disasters. So here we will talk about the Sendai framework and the Hyogo framework for action. So the 2019 question, disaster preparedness. Again, the question is on the preparedness. The first step is in a disaster management process. Yeah, when we talk about the disaster management cycle, we are prepared. The disaster takes place, and finally we mitigate it. We cope up with it. So these are the major steps in the cycle. We will talk about the cycle later on. Explain how hazard zonation mapping with help of disaster mitigation is in case of landslide. So we zone the areas according to the intensity of the landslide that can happen, and how we are prepared for that. The question is talking about this. And the 19th second question, the vulnerability is an essential element for defining disaster impacts and its threat to people. How and what ways can vulnerability to disaster can be characterized? Discuss the type of vulnerability with reference to disaster. So here the key word is vulnerability. Essential element for defining disaster impact means, I can explain with an example that if you are living in ground floor, it's a single story building with a lot of open areas, and there you feel earthquake, you can easily run to the open space and you can save yourself. So you are least vulnerable. And if you are in the age group of nearly 18 to 65, then you are least vulnerable, just because you can easily run or hide easily run to the open areas and you can save yourself. But the old age people and the children are not educated enough to know what to do, and the old age people are not capable enough to run that fast, so they are more vulnerable. So we are here categorizing the people in terms of age group, and in the vulnerability phase. So vulnerability is an essential element for defining disaster impacts and threat to the people. How, in what phase can vulnerability to disaster be characterized? So what ways that I use one parameter of age, and yeah, there are other parameters as well. We were discussing it there and discuss different types of vulnerability with reference to disaster. So we will talking about different type of vulnerability, like economic vulnerability, emotional vulnerability, is how you are emotionally vulnerable. These all factors will be discussed in the. So this is all for today, and the tomorrow topic will be related to the definitions and understanding of hazard, vulnerability, risk, and disaster. So just go through these videos, note down the topics which are taught in the video lecture, and just focus on your studies. Thank you.